Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. How are y'all doing? My name is Ion. Hi, Ling Ling. Hey, Carolyn. Doja Cat is a whole vibe. I'm going to need y'all to like this video because we are going to get messy tonight. I'm going to be chief keep in this because this I don't like. Okay? How are you a negative millionaire? But thank God. And they did that on purpose so he doesn't have any access or assets to get his ass out. Right? We are going to be, well, sorry. Um, but if y'all don't know who I am, my name is Ion. Welcome to Ion Ms. Riz's YouTube, Ms. Riz YouTube. I am, a YouTuber, a content creator, whatever you want to say, just a person behind a YouTube account. I created the Red Pill for Women show to have crazy hot topics about this. Yeah, so I'm very 100% excited to be hosting a conversation about the famous R. Kelly. The famous R. Kelly. So, I kind of want to pull up, the article so we can have a read through of what's really going on, right? Because this nigga is not coming out, period. He's not coming out, period. Right? And if he think he think he's going to step in the name of love his way out of this one, nigga, you ain't going nowhere but under the jail cell. And they're going booty clap. Booty so big, they're going to be slapping your booty, R. Kelly, and you deserve it. You deserve every piece. You deserve every piece. Let me get this article up. They're going to be slapping your booty in jail. You finna lose your job. They finna slap your booty. They finna ragtag all over you. I mean, you deserve it. So, if y'all don't know who R. Kelly is, he is a famous, formerly famous, what is he again? An R&B artist. Yes, one of the most famous, right? One of the most famous. He gonna get them cheeks clapped. He better bust it wide open and then tell her bring her back. Bust it wide open and then tell her bring her back. That's what he better be doing. He better lube it up because that's what they finna do to you. So to get into what's actually going on, right? Make sure I like this video. R. Kelly um of him molesting and sexually abusing and underage girls, right? And the funny thing about it is that the community knew about this. Please don't play with me. Y'all knew about the Aaliyah stories. Y'all knew about all of it, and y'all let that nigga rock because it just shows how perverted y'all motherfuckers are. Disgusting. And the funny thing about it is that one thing I do hate about these discussions, right, is when we sit and have, we have great conversations in and out of nowhere. Like, and we talking about, oh, R. Kelly did this. And yeah, we all knew. Yeah, he used to be in a school. He used to do this. He used to do that. He used to run up to the schools and be with all the girls. Nigga, you knew this nasty motherfucker was going up to schools trying to get girls and you didn't say nothing about that, you dumb motherfucker. And I'm gonna have to say trigger warning. I told you I'm gonna curse today, but how dare you? What you mean you knew that he was going up to schools as a grown ass man back in the day in Chicago and he used to go be hanging out with the girls? What? Houston, we have a motherfucking problem in the black community. Yes, we do. And I'm not talking about Whitney Houston either. Let me get into a real article because I'm gonna with his this the shit I don't like. Let me share this. Let's share this, and I'm gonna show you, right, because things are gonna. The funny thing about it is the community is finna be exposed, period, right? And people think this is a joke, so they can laugh all they want and think that like if they not gonna look down on the community based off this one, no, Negro, they finna paint black people out to be. And when I say black, I'm gonna separate myself from this type of black because I am not part of that. I'm not part of that team, honey. And today we're indicting parents too. Them parents need to be locked up right with them because you knew letting your child go with a grown ass man. Let me tell you something. I want ladies celebrate this win because this is a win. But I do have some sorry news at the end of this conversation, right? But we're gonna get to that at the end because a lot of people were asking me, what do we think that this is the future? Is this mean that black women are going to be more protected? We're going to talk about that at the end. So let's get into this article. So R. Kelly has been found guilty of sex trafficking. Now what happens? The nigga go to jail. I mean, and it should be more in jail. Hold on, let me see if I can get. Ugh. He, okay, here we go. It should be more than jail. He should get the electric chair. And you know what's funny? That's how you know. The funny thing about it is that I don't know if y'all know, but notice this is how you know society doesn't give a fuck about women because they did not care at all until they started mentioning boys. Y'all know that, right? That's when they started saying, "Oh no, that nigga gotta go to jail." When it's girls, they will put on a case for the longest time, but once they started mentioning boys, child, they was like, he gotta go. Oh, child, I could read this. I don't know what you. So let's get into the case, and I'm gonna do some commentary on this. So it says, following weeks of graphic emotional testimony, R. Kelly was convicted Monday on all counts in New York sex trafficking trial. But what happens now, child? Let me get my glasses for this one. Let me get my little reading glasses. Let me see if I can find them because I always don't put them out. Hey, Sha, what's going on? Homophobia and patriarchy. Period. Um, so to the victims in this case, your voices were heard and justice was finally served. Acting U.S. Attorney Jacqueline Calise, which I think is a black woman, said Monday outside the Brooklyn courthouse Monday, where a jury convicted the 54-year-old R&B star on all 9 counts of sex trafficking and retracting following less than 2 days of deliberations. Hold on, let me scroll up. The verdict sends a loud message to the survivors of sex violence, says Aaron Robertson, press secretary for the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network, in a statement to U.S. Today. Today, verdict was made possible by. Why does this thing keep coming up? Oh Lord, this is gonna distract me. Let me try to find another article that doesn't have pop-ups because y'all know how my mental works when things are on the screen. Let me see. Today's verdict was made possible by their courage and persistence and being heard. And we thank them for the resilience during a difficult and very public process, right? So yeah, it was very public. It was very violent. And we're going to get through all of it. I want to get to the nitty gritty. I want to talk about I want to talk about Ariel. I want to talk about all the girls who participated in it. Get y'all wine, y'all, because it's going to get messy, Maya. Hold on. And I hope y'all liking this video because I can't see the screen because I'm reading off something. But now the New York trial has come to a close. What's next for R. Kelly? Who faces similar charges in 3 federal and state cases in Illinois and Minnesota? And what could the verdict mean for the Me Too movement, which helped shine a light on decades of abuse against Kelly? And the funny thing about it is the media will lie to y'all. It will lie the hell to the women and make them think that the world actually gave a fuck about all these women who were out here protesting and really trying to. There was no. Who do you know? What women do you really know that were out there protesting are really against R. Kelly? Please tell me. Like the only reason why they really gave a damn about this case is because it started because they started mentioning boys and that he used to mess with boys. That is the only reason why they gave a damn about this case. Because they let the pedophilia one go, they let everything else go, but now all of a sudden they want to be besties and the testies with all these women and say it was the Me Too movement. Hold on, y'all. Let me get to. Ugh. Okay, cool. Got it. We're here. It's been a long time since you. Oh my God, what is going on with the service? Okay, when will R. Kelly be sentenced? Well, who has Kelly, who has been behind bars since the arrest in July 2019, won't be sentenced to until May 4th of next year. Ladies, don't get too excited. Don't get too excited. Do not get too excited at all for this one because you know how they did the Bill Cosby case. So we have to wait all the way until next year until this man is freaking trialed. The singer faces the possibility of decades in prison for crimes including violating the Mann Act and anti-sex trafficking laws that prohibits taking anyone across state lines for any immoral purpose. Michael Ivan Leonard, one of Kelly's lawyers, and a similar federal case against him in Chicago, told U.S. Today he is surprised by the New York verdict. New York don't play these games when it comes down to sex, okay, y'all? And I'm glad they took his ass to New York because they was finna play. And you know what? And y'all like this video. Put the lawyer in jail too. That's what they need to do. Put the lawyer in jail. He's surprised. What are you surprised about? Oh my goodness. I was optimistic that on the main charges, the redirecting charges, he would be found not guilty, Leonard said. The nature of the reactor influence and corruption organization RICO case typically fits that of the mafia or drug kingpins directing their underlining to do various illegal things, and this is a very different scenario. I didn't think that the jury would believe that Kelly and the band were a criminal enterprise. Not him trying to. First of all, why are we even comparing the kingpins, the drug kingpins at this point, right? Um, they wasn't having sex with little children and little boys and little girls. And if they were, that's what they was not indicting for. How do we get here? Lock the lawyer up now too. According to Leonard, the delayed sentences to date for Kelly is not standard. Usually, federal judges set sentencing 90 or 120 days out. But it's not unheard of and may be the result of the judge scheduled and COVID-19 precautions. He better be in jail till next year. Negro, bye. Leonard said Kelly's sentence will be calculated based on federal sentences guidelines for the various crimes he's been convicted of, such as. Damn it, why this thing keeps popping up? Can I take ads off of here? Because this is going to kill me. Which carries a recommended maximum of 20 years. If that man gets 20 years, I'm going to be so pissed off. So, what does the verdict mean for R. Kelly's other trials? The New York case is the only part of the legal peril facing Kelly. The singer, who has pleaded not guilty to similar charges in Illinois and Minnesota, and it's not clear how the verdict in Brooklyn will affect those cases or when they might reach trial. Oh, the attorney's not black. Oh, she a white woman. She said that nigga going to jail. Period. She said send that nigga to jail. She was not playing. She said, "Me too. Lock him up. He is not Bill Cosby. Lock him up, and lock him up for Bill Cosby too, because he out. Give him the rest of Bill Cosby's sentence. Lock that nigga up right now." That's what she said. Lock his ass up. Ordinarily, the trial and the Northern District of Illinois, in which Kelly has a co-defendant, would be up next, but nothing is certain at the moment. Kelly's co-defendants want to move forward to a trial as soon as possible, possibly in January, Leonard said, and they're entitled to do so. All parties except Kelly want a quick trial date. Leonard said those co-defendants are in the quiet, different positions from Kelly, and if he were to get if this thing comes out one more time, sentence, it might have might have some impact on this trial in Chicago. The judge is not going to agree to wait until June to go to trial. Wait, what? He needs to be locked up. And they need to bring Bill ass back, drag him by his old ass cankles, by a horse, back into prison too. It's been a long time since you. It it is a good use of resources to try someone already facing a significant sentence, Leonard asks. But Lynn Hetch, legal director of Legal Mentorium, a long-standing legal advocacy organization for women, said the verdict doesn't mean other state and federal prosecutions pending against Kelly will not or should not move forward. So this is only one state. He got other states that's going to get his ass too. Every victim deserves to hear their voice and justice served in their individual case, she told US Today. Besides, their tremendous political pressure to pursue sex abuse cases among the most underreported and under-prosecuted crimes in the country, says former federal prosecutor turned Los Angeles civil attorney Nima, who's been following the Kelly case. So when you tell victims R. Kelly is going to see justice for acts he committed against them, it's not going to fly both with the public and at a large with the victim, says Ramani. What does R. Kelly verdict mean for Me Too? According to, listen, I'm not gonna even read this whole Me Too movement thing bullshit because it's given a scam, right? And they're gonna the funny thing about it is they're gonna give you this one just because and they're gonna try to indict, like, if um the Me Too movement actually gives a fuck about overall Black women, right? And like I said before, the Me Too movement, I didn't see them fighting with R. Kelly. I did not see them um, going against. I mean, I saw them going against Bill Cosby, really, but I'd never seen them really go for R. Kelly. So for us to try to play like if these people really like care, they really don't. I'm not saying that some people in a movement don't care. What I'm saying specifically is the majority does not care. That's a fact.
Jurors have just
Let me get into what some people are saying in the news.
Reached a verdict in the federal trial of R&B singer R. Kelly.
And like I said before, they only care because it's them boys. If it was some girls, they wouldn't give a shit.
He has been found guilty of racketeering. He is also charged with sex trafficking. These are charges that could send him to prison for decades. And CNN's Jean Casares has been following this case for us. We also have CNN legal analyst Ariva Martin. She is here with us also. Okay, Jean, this just happened. I know you are scrambling to figure out exactly what all of this means, as am I. So guilty on racketeering.
And the Eastern District of New York, the courts just tweeted that out. So they are saying guilty of racketeering. There was one count of racketeering. There were 14 different acts involved, including sexual exploitation of a minor, bribery, kidnapping, and sex trafficking charges. So this is all we have at this point. Now, he's also charged with the Mann Act, which is a federal law involving sex trafficking. Now, nothing on that yet, so they could be in the midst of the reading of this verdict because racketeering was count one. The Mann Acts were the counts after that, 2 through 9. And so we don't know how far they've gotten, but this is an extremely complicated trial. It is very, very sophisticated. It went for 23 days. There were 50 witnesses. There were many young women that testified that R. Kelly had kidnapped them, held them in rooms. They could only go to...
And I'm telling you right now, I'm going to show you something funny because I knew this was going to happen. Y'all, make sure you are canceling out Black women who are defending this because this will go, I'm telling you, this is going to go down and hit. If this is the time. If you don't separate yourself now, this is the time. Separate yourself immediately. If you hear anybody defending R. Kelly, you should not be around them right now. And if anybody asks you about R. Kelly, it should not be no hesitation. And if anybody asks you about R.
to the bathroom or eat. If they got permission from his people, they had to wear baggy clothes, they testified, unless they were in his presence.
And I'm going to show y'all why. Because, and like I said before, I've been looking at this case before for a while. And I know for sure that they're going to try to turn this narrative and they're going to try to put it back on Black women. And I'm going to show you why. And they're already doing it already. I'm going to show y'all.
They could only look at him. They could not look at other men. It was tearful testimony, emotional testimony. And ultimately, the prosecution said it is time for him to be convicted.
Ariva, it's hard to imagine that he wouldn't be convicted of sex trafficking with all the vile details that we heard during the trial.
You see how they got you see, and remember when I told y'all, because I'm going to play this video tomorrow when I speak about the power of white women. Look at the words, the violent words that they're using and how they enunciate on violent, vile.
Trial, those that Jean just laid out in terms of, as we all know, the singer Aaliyah trying to marry her illegally, underage, all of the stuff that we heard. So where are you with all the details that we've just heard?
I'm not surprised, Allison, at all at the guilty verdict. And not only was there riveting testimony, as Jean just told us about, but there was also video recordings, apparently some pretty graphic video and audio recording that the jurors were allowed to both hear and see of him berating women, of him engaging in certain kinds of violent sexual acts.
And why are they acting like this is not normal? Like, I mean, the violent behavior towards the community and women in the community is something really normal. So the fact that they're like, oh my God, could you believe that he was this violent? Could you believe that R. Kelly was violent? And to tell you the truth, like, this reminds me of like that SpongeBob thing. Remember when SpongeBob was stuck in the he was like, SpongeBob and Patrick was making fun of Sandy, right? And she was sitting on a bench, and she took their water hats on, and she was like, "What do you need?" And she was like, "Wallet, watch." That's how you got to be when you're talking about these, when you're using those words against about the crimes that happen to you. You have to say violent, vile, like just really enunciate so people know that this is serious. You cannot be silent about this anymore. Violent, vile. That's how the white women be doing it. I be listening to them. You know, Bob, when I came in, you were very violent towards me. Very violent. When you yelled at me, your voice was very loud. And I just feel like I'm being picked on because I'm a woman. And I feel like a lot of men I feel like a lot of women and a lot of men in this office are very predatory.
Women. So the jurors had an opportunity to not just hear from these women, but to see these videotapes, to hear the audio. And this has been 25 years in the making, according to the prosecution, that he used his platform, he used his fame, his music fame to lure young girls into his circle, and then had a team of people around him, employees, agents, managers, others in his circle to create this, oppressive environment for these young women. So not surprising that guilty verdict on these very serious federal charges. And as you said, Allison, he is facing anywhere from 10 years to life. And this is only the beginning, because there are other jurisdictions that also have filed charges against R. Kelly.
Jean, we did hear a lot of details about the case, but not all of them. Was this case more shrouded in secrecy in terms of transcripts and things because some of the women were minors at the time?
Sexual assault victims. And that can create a situation where things are sealed. I want to talk about what Ariva just mentioned. Extremely important.
Extremely important. Minors. I'm telling you, they do not play. And you can't even say, child, don't say black. Don't say black around them because they don't understand that. Say, I'm a woman of color, and I really feel like this is violent.
Indictment and the testimony went onward from the sexual exploitation, sex trafficking, to the production of videos where these young women, many of them minors, were forced to do things before the camera. Now, right before the trial ended, we know that the jury was able to see some video. The media was not allowed to look at it at all. We don't know what it was, but it corroborated what these young women were saying. Well, today, the media was actually able to hear some of the audio. I've seen some of it in writing. It is not appropriate for air. What these women were told to do, told to say back to R. Kelly. So they place R. Kelly in the room. And remember, this was a criminal enterprise. It involved R. Kelly. It involved handlers.
Y'all don't hear them how it involves criminals, handlers, R. Kelly.
Managers, agents, people to the side of R. Kelly, but he was the head of it. And so he is the one that was charged.
And so, Ariva, that brings in the racketeering convictions. So that's usually reserved for like organized crime. So how does this fit?
Yeah, you're right, Allison. Usually, when we think of racketeering, we're thinking of mob bosses. We're thinking of the mafia. We're not thinking of sexual predators like R. Kelly. But the federal prosecutors in this case wanted to and did an effective job of making the case that this just wasn't about one incident. It wasn't about multiple incidents. It was about a criminal enterprise that was carried out over years, involving different states, involving different, actors, bad actors that were involved in this enterprise. And hopefully, this is the beginning of seeing these kinds of prosecutions that carry very serious penalties against sexual predators like R. Kelly. This is a huge decision given the Me Too movement, and particularly to see someone, we've seen Bill Cosby, we've seen Harvey Weinstein, and now R. Kelly being held accountable for, in this case, decades of sexual assault.
And y'all, I want y'all to look at these tweets as I scroll down and I'm reading these, because like it's getting weird. It's getting really weird.
And violence against young girls and women.
Gene, we are just getting in more information now that he has been convicted of 9 counts, I believe, including the sex trafficking charges and that racketeering. So they're just announcing it, slowly. First was the racketeering and now the sex trafficking, because it would have been unimaginable for him not to be given what you've just said was the evidence presented in the court.
And sex trafficking was a part of the racketeering also, but the Mann Act specifically focuses in on sex trafficking, as just you're saying right here. This jury was 7 men and 5 women. It was a very diverse jury. It was a jury that listened to so much testimony.
Do y'all see that? Do y'all see that? Ooh. Ooh. Back away. Abort the mission. Abort the mission immediately. That's why I said that sisterhood is very real until a black man get involved. And then it's like all bets are off.
Woman after woman. Here's one example. There was a former radio DJ intern who says that R. Kelly invited her to interview him. I mean, what a thing, right? When you're just an intern and he asks you, you can interview me. She went to his studio in Chicago. She said she was placed in a room. She realized she couldn't get out. And this was for days. She was finally given food. She remembers passing out and awaking and seeing R. Kelly readjusting his clothes. And so she believes that she was drugged, sexually assaulted, and that is one example.
How terrifying. I mean, that does obviously conjure Bill Cosby accusations as well, as Ariva just brought up. Ariva, tell us again, now that we know that he's been convicted of these sex trafficking and racketeering, how much, he's 54 years old, I believe. How much time is he looking at in prison?
Yeah, he's looking at a minimum of 10 years and a maximum of life in prison. And again, as I said, Allison, this is just in this one case. There are other jurisdictions that are also going to try him. I think it's also interesting to note, Allison, the defense in this case was primarily that these women were all liars, that they were gold diggers, that they purposely associated themselves with and I think at one point, though, it's not a crime to like kinky sex. He kept making references to the fact that these were consenting adults. And the jurors obviously unequivocally rejected those claims by his defense attorney and found that these were not consenting adults, that these were children, that these were violent acts, these were criminal acts, and they're holding R. Kelly accountable.
Reba, one more question on that. Because of the echoes of Bill Cosby, same thing, the old he said, she said, no. She said, she said, she said, she said, she said, as we've learned. And the arguments that this was all consensual. It's absurd. But isn't it interesting that this is the verdict now? Because 13 years ago, R. Kelly was acquitted of child pornography charges at a state trial. So, obviously there's been a sea change.
a major sea change, Allison, in the way that we listen to, the way that we believe, and the way that we receive claims that are made by women that have been sexually assaulted. And as you know, for many years, women that would come forward and tell of sexual violence were not believed. They were actually maligned by their jobs, by their employers, and even in the media. But since that time, there's more.
Girl, I know this is not what I think it is. Hold on.
Captive and hostage.
I gotta ask, man, where's R. Kelly? That's your man.
He's in Chicago, actually.
Oh, he's in Chicago?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I'm out here in LA, just vacationing, and he's in Chicago.
Oh, cool. You're doing your own thing right now.
Yeah, I'm doing my own thing. It's rumors out there. People are saying that, I'm captive and I'm hostage. Well, obviously that's not true. I'm out here, enjoying life and doing my own thing. So, as you can see.
You stand by your word, R. Kelly's not holding any women hostage or he doesn't have a sex cult or...
No, none of that is true. None of that's true. All that is false accusations. People talk all the time. It's just rumor.
I gotta ask, man, where's our...
More understanding, there's more empathy, and there's a greater understanding that there are lots of reasons why women don't always come forward right after they are sexually assaulted. We understand that better now. And the public, I think, by...
So, just to go through go way back, we're gonna take it way, way back. And I don't know if y'all know, but like his girlfriends publicly came out and defended him. And I just, before we say this, I'm not trying to blame victims because I know how brainwashing works, right? But I just kind of want y'all to see how this is going to be painted, right? Because I can see it now.
The two women who live with R. Kelly are defending him and their relationship with him in the strongest terms. 21-year-old Azriel Clary and 23-year-old Joycelyn Savage told us they love Kelly, while their families claim he has brainwashed them.
In an interview you'll see only on CBS this morning, the two women told us there is nothing inappropriate about their arrangement with the 52-year-old singer. What is your relationship, both of you, with R. Kelly?
We're with him. That's our relationship.
We're with him. Yeah, that's what it is.
And we're in a relationship with him.
Right.
You just said it.
A very strong relationship as well.
Both of you?
Yes, most definitely.
How do we say this without being inappropriate? Is this a three-way relationship, or do you each have a separate relationship with him? How does this work?
Well, both
I'm
of
curious.
those. Yeah, we both have our individual relationships with him, and we all are family all together. We have our moments where we sit and watch movies all together. We go to amusement parks all together.
I'm not talking about Azriel going to movies and sitting watching, going to parks. I'm talking about is it a three-way sexual relationship?
Sexually? Well, first of all, I'm not here to talk about my personal life, and I would never share with no one what I do in or outside of the bedroom. And as a woman, I'm sure you would not either.
Yes. No, I wouldn't, but
okay then.
No, you're
next
right.
question.
No, you're right. I would not, but this is a very different circumstance.
It's not a different circumstance. There are people all over the world who have multiple girlfriends. It's no different.
Do both of you all believe you're in love with him?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
Of course.
Should your parents be concerned?
No.
Why?
Well, my parents knew where I have always been for 4 years. They know that I've been well taken care of.
They never thought you were missing, Azriel. They just were wondering if you were okay.
Well, my parents have actually came to Chicago and seen me a few times. I've talked to them. They stopped answering my calls.
You know what they say? They say that you were brainwashed. I talked to your dad last night. He says, my daughter is brainwashed, and he's very concerned. He said he was here 2 days ago, and you wouldn't even look him in the eye.
Okay, I wouldn't look him in the eye because he's a liar. And he's a manipulative liar.
I'll tell you why they're concerned, Azriel, because they say she's 17. We found text messages that indicated that she was having sex with R. Kelly when she was 17. Is that true?
No, that is a lie. That is a lie. I was not having sex with him at 17.
Why would they want to lie about you, their daughter?
Okay, so when I first met Robert, my parents told me to lie about my age. So when I met him, he thought that I was 18. On top of that, when I was 17, my parents were actually making me, trying to get me to take photos with him, take sexual videos with him, all kinds of stuff.
Wait. Your parents encouraged you to do sexual videos with R. Kelly?
Yes.
And it's funny, when she said this, I believe her. I 100% believe her when she said that. I don't think that she's lying at all. And I hope y'all like this video. We should get up to 200 likes. But I 100% believe her. I think that her parents sent them young girls in there. They knew what R. Kelly was doing. They didn't think that he had that much power. And at the end of the day, he ended up making them fall in love.
And they said because if they ever have to blackmail him, what they're trying to do now, they can use it against him, which is exactly what they're doing.
Joycelyn, I see you nod.
And she said this very confidently, too. No blinking, no nothing.
A lot with what she's saying. Why are you nodding in agreement with what she's saying?
Because everything that she's saying is true. Our parents are basically out here just to get money, and
your parents. You're saying the same as saying.
Well, both of our parents are basically out here to trying to get money and scam because they didn't agree on what happened, you know, with music or wherever it could be, and they're just very upset.
This is the first time hearing, to be honest with you, that your parents are trying to get money from R. Kelly.
Okay.
Because your father told a very different story to me last night.
Yeah, he's the manipulative. He's very manipulative, so he's the one you need to watch out for. But my dad and my mom, they started to send threats to both me and him. They said, oh, I'll put all your naked pictures all over the world. I'm going to ruin you. I'm going to ruin him. If he doesn't send $20,000 to this bank account by Monday, oh, I'm going to put everything out there and then $10,000 after that. You're trying to solicit me like I'm some hoe. I'm not.
And that's exactly why she probably never came back, because of that type of issue that was going on. I mean, why would she come back to parents that do that? And these types of things need to be exposed because, you know, to be honest, if those people made it very easy for they made it very easy for R. Kelly to just pull up and like grab them. I mean, he didn't even have to do that. I mean, they legitly just gave him to him. Sorry, they just gave them to him.
Your child.
Exactly.
Yeah, you sound very angry with your parents. You sound very angry and very pained. Tell me, Azrael, why you're crying. Tell me.
I'm crying because you guys don't know the truth. You guys are believing it's a facade that our parents are saying. This is all lies for money. And if you can't see that, you're ignorant and you're stupid as because you want to be. All because that's the world we live in. Negativity sells. Gossip is what sells. Rumors are what sells.
Exactly.
But Joycelyn
and you could tell Joycelyn was down for it. Ariel was really not. She was just there and she was over it. You could tell she was going to leave.
And Azrael, this is more than gossip. This is more than just rumors. These are decades of allegations against Robert Kelly.
We're not here to talk about decades. We're here to talk about what our parents are doing right now.
Right.
And what they're doing right now is all for money.
Right.
Now, both sets of parents deny ever asking Kelly for money or receiving money from him. You know, as I watched as I was talking to them, because I had talked to the father, there are two very different stories. I'm sure Mr. Clary, if he watches this morning, his head will explode because he has a very different version.
Well, you know, he needs to be held accountable for letting his 17-year-old daughter out in the streets be with a grown-ass man. Now, this is another video that kind of disturbed me a bit. And like, I kind of want to also show how, you know, the women, his wife is a victim in this too, right? I can tell by what she did here. This is her in a car.
Come through, Facebook Live. Yes.
So she's in the car, right? I don't know if I can show this, right? Because I don't know how to work. Let me just say, she's in the car right now with her new boyfriend, I think it is. And I mean, I don't know if it's disturbing or, like I said before, it could be just because she's a victim of this. And maybe and I think R. Kelly is a master manipulator. But this was her on Facebook Live.
That is my baby daddy playing in the background. What y'all about?
Turn right to I-285 South.
Questions, you have passed my test. Happy people, yeah, yeah, yeah. Turn it, yes, them who people. Happy people. Come on, back there. Other back there. Dancing. Happy people. Yeah. Stepping. Happy people. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that's how I know like R. Kelly is a master manipulator, and I'm so glad he's going to prison because he can master manipulate them prisoners and have a good old time behind closed doors. Because if he's kept out of jail, he's going to continue to do this, and he's going to get better at it. Especially, he's going to have like a glory, and he needs to stay in there. Because like I think that she mentally suffered from some things too. When I heard her tell her story where she couldn't even come out of the bedroom to eat, right, unless he said so, I knew something was going on.
This R. Kelly shit has just really gotten out of control.
Oh, not him trying to hold her accountable. My boy, get the fuck up out of here. Let me see. I'm trying to say, because there was one point when she was like, you got to separate the artist from the music. And I was just like, and I mean, I couldn't even be mad. Let's hear what his daughter has to say. What's she talking about her childhood?
To deal with everything in the media with my father is not easy. People constantly like, how do you feel about the scandals? How do you feel? I don't give a about the scandals. I have an issue with my father. I had to drop out of school. I've had parents not let their children hang out with me. I spend a lot of days or nights crying. But like, damn, I'm sad and I have the right to be sad. Come in.
Which is true. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to. I 100% agree with her. Like, it's not her response, and that's the other thing too that I don't like is that when these things happen to Black men, like now every Black woman in his family has to be the martyr of what is going on. Not the martyr, the person who like really cares and like has to jump in and help out. That's not her problem. I can't. I really can't.
I feel like I'm gonna burn myself to death. I'm ready some tea.
And I wonder like the dynamic between both of them and I wonder if R. Kelly has any sons because I would hope that they put them in some serious therapy because they can go and do the same things that R. Kelly's been doing to other women. So I hope he doesn't have any sons.
Kiss your mama. You are never gonna be too long. Kiss your mama. Another thing, it's so challenging being in the media firing storm, but Buku is pushing through it. Like, I wish she had a robe with some boxing gloves on, baby. Like, the champ is here. It seemed like every other damn day is something going on with him talking about.
What does she mean?
Going on with him talking about.
What?
Is here.
Why does she doesn't
on, baby. Like,
she don't need no gloves. Oh, like, this is gonna be bad, y'all. I'm not gonna indict. Y'all know. I'm sorry, y'all. I cannot. I can't do this on this channel. I can't indict her on this type of situation and her motherhood.
I wish she had a robe with some boxing gloves on, baby. Like, the champ is here. It seemed like.
But she's going through a lot, and she doesn't need to be nobody's champion. She doesn't.
every other damn day is something going on with him talking about he can't pay child support. What? I don't care if he had to have 50 jobs. I don't care if you sing in the day, work at a bar at night.
And that's another thing too. You shouldn't be talking about your issues with your ex-husband with your daughter. She's going to have some serious problems growing up.
Strip on Saturdays, preach on Sundays, figure your life out and pay your child support. Like, I don't get that.
It's a little different for me versus you. So at a certain point, you can actually detach yourself from him. Right. We can't.
I don't know what it's like to be R. Kelly's child. I only know what it's like to be his ex-wife. I can disconnect from it because I'm like, well, my divorce is good, no, but his blood runs through your veins.
Literally the other day I had
this conversation is very disturbing, and I hope you hear what she's like. This is crazy. This is very wild, and this goes to tell you the toxicity between mothers and daughters sometimes, where mothers don't really understand, right? What, like, I don't even know. I don't know if I could. I'm gonna see if I can try because I want to be like respectful. I'll see what I could do. Let's try to get through it.
Had somebody like DM me on Instagram. She said that she wished you would have been stronger. And I was like, my mom made the strongest move in the world by leaving him. Like, if I get a negative comment or if people come at me, delete, you're blocked. I'm not even reading it. I get that all the time. And people don't realize like how bad. Sorry, guys. People don't realize how bad that hurts. Because it's like, I didn't do anything, you know? I didn't ask to be here. For me.
And like, I think that we also have to talk about how many like actual women that, you know, R. Kelly, one black man, was able to tarnish. And this is usually what happens within our community, that one black man is able to tarnish about like 40 black women's lives. And we have to talk about this one day. You got the mother, you got the daughter, you got all the victims, you got the victims' mothers. And we never talk about that. And a lot of men do this. You got his mother. If he has any sisters, these are all women who have been tarnished. You got Aaliyah's mother and their family. And that's one man that tarnished all these women's lives. And they expect black women to be stronger. Y'all, I'm trying not to... I try not to cry, y'all. It's a lot. This is a lot.
It just ends up being like kind of like a cycle of like, okay, I'm good, all right, I'm not, okay, I'm good, okay, I'm not, and like that's been my whole life, you know what I'm saying? So at a certain point I just had to be like, I can't let this affect me anymore or else it's gonna affect me forever. I had to go through with him being my father, like it just feels good to finally have like an opportunity to be like, I have the right to feel this way.
And it's sad because people are so attached to his persona. They are so attached to R. Kelly that they forget that there's a Robert who is somebody's father.
We're still trying.
Girl, and weirdly so, she's still defending the man. Weirdly so. Weirdly so, she's still defending the man. Who gives a fuck about his fatherhood? He's not a good father. He can't be a good father and a pedophile and a man who ruins all these women's lives at the same time. That's not how good parenting works.
To heal from a lot, like a lot, to the point where I almost tried to take my life. Like, that is heavy. And then to turn around and be like, oh, you should not feel that way. You're selfish for feeling that way. Da, 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 da. It's just like, y'all are really heartless. Baby, it breaks my heart because you have been through so much that you didn't even ask for. Music literally saved my life. Music allows me to express what I'm truly feeling without letting it destroy me or destroy my spirit.
I'm gonna say my opinions on this because I don't want to put, because these are still both two victims, right? And I just really hope that the daughter and the mother both seek they both get healing. I mean, that's all I can wish on them, really. That's all I can wish on them right now.
I've already dealt with the negatives just for having a last name. I genuinely don't think that anybody can say anything worse than what has already been said to me throughout my 21 years of life.
I can't. That's a lot. That's a lot. And look at this. Look at this worshiping culture. Please, y'all, look at this shit. This shit is so fucking weird. I can't. And this is that, like, he is able, like, he's such a guy, and I knew he was taught to use his singing to manipulate people. You know how I know? So I'm gonna tell y'all a crazy story. So, and y'all, please watch. Matter of fact, I'm not gonna tell y'all. Watch y'all children around these musicians, and watch them around. Like, if you have pianists, if you have people taking, if you have your children taking any music classes, watch those, or any dance classes, or any gymnastics. Do not have them around them by themselves.
Now wipe my nose. Now wipe my beard. Now wipe my lips.
And that's really freaking nasty. And I just can't. Child. Oh.
Now wipe my tongue.
There's something.
Keep wiping the day. Keep wiping the day. Don't stop wiping the day. Don't stop wiping the day. Keep wiping me.
I'm so glad this fucking Negro is going to jail. I can't. He probably would have had hundreds of thousands of victims. Thousands. Now, let me tell you how white women are legitly sneaking in and trying to, throw little digs at black women, right? When it comes to this, which is hilarious to me because, these white women are very forgetful. And I'm not trying to say that it's something about some of these white women that I really can't. I really can't. Let me show y'all something real quick. A little sneak this is. Let me get into there. Now he's going to be wiping the jail floor. Keep wiping me, babe. Wipe me down. You're gonna be asking them bald men to wipe him down. And this is how, like, it's just funny. You got to be real careful. You see how these Negroes team up together to protect the black man's image? Ugh, so funny. And try to pin it on a black woman. Let me remove the comments down. You're going to be stepping in the name of jail. So I looked at this tweet. Somebody sent this to me, and I find it really funny. So Elena, let me see what Elena does. So Elena, who is a serious publicist, sneakerhead, national reporter for the HuffPost, covering gender and politics with a focus on gender-based violence. Let me follow her because I feel like I'm going to need... Oh, she did a whole... Wow. Let me get to this really quick. And we're going to get into these comments. Can y'all see the screen? Put a one in the chat if you can see the screen, y'all. Put a one in the chat. And y'all, please like this video because this is going to go into the power of white women. And my power of white women and my video tomorrow. Put a one in the chat. Okay, y'all can all see the screen good. Make sure y'all also, since y'all putting a one, make sure y'all also liking the video. Put a one in the chat if you like the video. It should be like... So Alana, who is, I don't know what the hell she is. Oh, she's a serious possibilitist. I guess that's something real. Oh, she's a national reporter. So she goes, R. Kelly supporters play his music outside of the courthouse. We're not giving up on R. Kelly. One reporter says, guess who's the face of this? And y'all got mad at me when I told y'all about that afro. Y'all, that afro. That afro. That social justice warrior afro that y'all get so mad at me for talking about. And I'm not trying to indict, but there's something that goes along with it. And you know it was only black women at this protest. But they always specifically point out that black women are there on purpose. So let's see the comments, right? And you know who's retweeting it, right? Let's go back. Let's go back and let me show you. The Boondocks episode aired. Ugh, why did it do that? Damn.
I know this might be hard to talk about.
No, it's cool.
How old were you when you were seeing Mr. Kelly?
14 and a quarter.
Wow. That's a great age, isn't it? Still learning so much about the world.
Whatever, I guess.
Could you describe the events leading up to the shooting of the video?
Yeah, he asked if he could pee on me, and I said for sure. I mean, it's R. Kelly, the Pied Piper of R&B. I've been peed on by guys who don't even have record deals. Shit, if I didn't want to get peed on, I'd just move out the way. Ha, I told you.
Order. Young lady.
Wow. The fact that we let that episode go by like that is crazy. And it just shows you will never, ever, ever, ever see a white show do something like this. That's not funny. That is not funny. Y'all. This is the most craziest thing ever. Look back on this. And I remember, I wonder why my parents always used to be mad at me for watching the Boondocks. What happened to this girl's thing? Let me try to find that column again. Oh, here we go. So you know who? Back to this. I can't, y'all. That was very perverted, and we got to stop. That stuff that stuff that should be protested. And I'm not saying that because we were all young at the time and we didn't know about it. But of course, it's a black man, right? And of course, he's going to post it, and repost and try to indict the black women. It's really funny. And look at them, sick. How on point they was. Sick, child. Well. At this point, let's go read the comments. Didn't have to watch the news to see. When I told y'all they worked together before, y'all should have been listening to what I said. They worked together, y'all. I'm a fan of the Boondocks. They told the truth. Did y'all not see that the Boondocks was talking about a 14-year-old loving to be peed on? How could you love the Boondocks after that? Like, how could you love the Boondocks after that? Like, I don't get that. I can't. Well, whatever. Y'all love the Boondocks. Well, this is what the Boondocks is portraying. I can't stand beside the Boondocks degrading black women and now making them the face. While I said of indicting R. Kelly, now we got black women getting involved with this. Like I really don't get it. Oh, Tyler Perry got it shut down. Thank God. But look how it's revisiting. And I know that a lot of people didn't know about it before then, but and look at this, y'all. Look, this is under this video. Hello. Me and my mama living out of suitcases. I went from black guys to rocking black ladies. Look. And people saying the Simpsons predicted the future. Nah, the Boondocks predicted Young Thug and R. Kelly. Wow.
Every famous nigga that gets arrested is not Nelson Mandela. Yes, the government conspires to put a lot of innocent black men in jail on fallacious charges. But R. Kelly is not one of those men. We all know the nigga can sing. But what happened to standards? What happened to bare minimums?
The Boondocks didn't predict anything. The community has been doing this for years, y'all. They didn't predict anything. I mean, this behavior is pretty normal within our community where men are doing stuff like this and people stand up for them. So this is natural behavior for the black community. This is not predictable. I mean, this is very predictable here.
A fan of R. Kelly? You want to help R. Kelly? Then get some counseling for R. Kelly. Introduce him to some older women. Hide his camcorder. But don't pretend like the man is a hero. And stop the damn... You people.
This is bananas. Yeah, no. This is crazy.
I cried laughing when I was who are these niggas? I cried laughing when I was you know what I'm saying? like we need to stay away from these niggas.
Oh, he is so fine.
What the hell is it?
Lord Jesus Christ. Let me get my hands on her. So, yeah, so let's go to her post and let's see what else that she posted, right? Because she is a blogger, or sorry, let me not say blogger, because one time I was on Clubhouse and I said blogger, and the world legitly went ham and posted all about it on Twitter. So let me not say blogger. That's offensive. What is she? She's what is it again? She's a reporter. Yes, a reporter. Lord Jesus Christ. Can't say shit. She can make a whole YouTube video. Hi, call me Coco. But you could make a whole damn movie, a show about this stuff. So let's see what this reporter reported on. Okay, hold on. So she made that. Okay, to the victims in this case, our voices were heard and justice was finally served. Acting U.S. Attorney for how did they get involved? Like, how did they? It's funny because black women would white women centered themselves in everything. They put themselves in everything. Lord Jesus Christ, no.
Their grace under pressure was truly extraordinary. I want to commend and thank the Special Agents Ryan Chabot and Sylvette Reynoso of the Department of Homeland Security, Alyssa Fagel. Their grace under pressure was truly extraordinary.
Hi, Coriander.
Hey, I gotta be quiet because I'm at work.
Go ahead. How are you?
Listen. Okay, the Boondocks episode, right? Okay, so not only did they accurately predict the R. Kelly thing, right? Tell me why they accurately predicted black people stabbing each other over Popeye's chicken sandwich.
And didn't it happen? Like, really happen?
Listen, there was an episode in the Boondocks where this chicken went really popular, right, at a restaurant, and they ran out of chicken. So people started destroying the restaurant, fighting each other over the chicken. And so when the whole Popeye's chicken sandwich thing happened, and you had people fighting each other over the chicken and stabbing people over the flipping Popeye's chicken sandwich, right? Somebody posted the Boondocks episode where the black people were fighting over the chicken at the restaurant.
Yeah, that's really crazy, and the Boondocks. I get disappointed with the Boondocks, but it's such a harsh reality of the black community.
Oh God!
And it's just like, damn, we just gotta live with that because that's exactly the world that we're living in.
Like, listen, the Boondocks put. I don't like some of the stuff in it either, but the Boondocks, what it did was everybody else in the show didn't have no sense, right? So they represented the average black people, but the little boy with the afro represented that one black person who had sense, right? So he would talk sense. He'd be the only person in the show who had any ounce of common sense while all the other black people were acting a fool.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it held a mirror to the black community's face, and it actually highlighted a lot of the black community's degeneracy.
No, and it's sometimes now that if I was to rewatch it, it would be like a harsh reality to watch because that is legitimately the things that be happening in the real world when it comes to our community, and it's actually really embarrassing.
I couldn't stomach the amount of times they would say in like one sentence, about 78 times in one sentence.
You said the N-word? Yeah. I used to watch it, but I used to always get in trouble, and my punishment was so harsh for watching it.
I wouldn't let my kids watch it either because it's ghetto. I wouldn't let my kids watch the Boondocks.
Yeah, I got punished so harshly.
Yeah, I feel like as an adult, you know, who knows better, you can watch it and dissect it. But I wouldn't let kids watch that crap. No.
Yeah, my mama was like, my dad was like 2 weeks, no TV, no games, just to sneak and watch it. So I was breaking in.
Oh no, but then they also have this one character named Uncle Ruckus. And basically it's him shitting on black women. Every time he's on screen, he's talking about black women's nappy heads and how white women are superior and all kind of bullcrap, right? So you know, like the average like Pookie, Ray Ray type of white female worshiping black woman, that's who he represents. And they sneak disses in there, right? Using Uncle Ruckus. So it's kind of okay for him to talk about black women like that because it's Uncle Ruckus. And he's known to be self-loathing and period. Like he thought he was a white man, but he's actually black, right? But that's how these black men, they sneak in their disrespect towards black women through that character.
No, I definitely I want to watch some Uncle Ruckus because they call me Uncle Ruckus all the time.
No, you're not Uncle Ruckus.
And I don't know why they do. So I'm going to pull up some of his clips just to laugh a little bit to lighten up.
No, Uncle Ruckus is a hot mess. You can watch it to laugh. But somebody said he hated black people in general. Yeah, but he did hate black people in general. But a lot of the disses that black men routinely make towards black women online when they're denigrating black women, they would sneak that in there through Uncle Ruckus. That was his purpose.
Let me share the screen and watch some videos. This is hilarious. I want to laugh. I want to have some laughs with y'all.
Oh, has a black smudge on its face. Baseball ain't in the same. All right, fine. I left food money in the cabinet above the oven, but that's all you're going to get, so you better make it last. Hey there, Robert. I'd offer to help you with your bag, but you're a coon.
What's he doing here?
He's your babysitter.
Come on, Granddaddy.
Hold on. Let me just put this really quick. But this gay man is getting clout off of us. They don't like us black women, even black men. So let me make this very clear, right?
He's an ally.
No, but it's okay though. So when it comes to clout, y'all, I had a political background. Okay, I can go into, if I really wanted to get clout and I really wanted to grow, I would pander to white women. It would be much easier to do so. So I'm not pandering at all. So you can think that. I'm sorry that you feel that way, but this is a channel that we've created to just have great conversations with black women. So if you feel like this channel is not for you, there's plenty of other channels that you can have. And I am going to agree with you. There are some gay men who do not like black women, but I'm not one of them. I come from.
They pander. You know what? Can I say something in regards to the whole pandering comment?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you guys the stoic approach that I have to pandering. So we know there is a particular YouTuber, I'm not gonna say no names, who does pander to black women, but was once upon a time a manosphere YouTuber, right?
Mm-hmm.
Talk crap about black women. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so initially, I wanted to warn black women about him pandering, because you and I, we know about him pandering. But then I said to myself, this works in my favor either way, right? Because here he is preaching divestment, right? But simultaneously, he got triggered at me preaching divestment, right? Here's how I look at it. If he's pandering, well, using our talking points, he's forwarding our agenda. And if so ever he slips up, if so ever he makes a mistake, if he fucks up, excuse my French, that still benefits us, because all of those black women that he drew in with his pandering behavior, the mammies, right, they'll get a harsh reality check in regards to pandering black men. Is either you're going to preach my message and you're going to benefit me by forwarding my message, or you're going to slip up and then you're going to cause more black women to support our cause and turn against you. Either way, it's just like playing chess. So if you feel like somebody's pandering, let them pander, especially if they're forwarding your agenda.
Period. And Ms. Kendall St. Charles already said it. She said, if you have somebody who want to protect you, why would you throw that away? Pandering or not. But I think that and I listen, sis, the one who was speaking in the chat, you have a black man here who's agreeing with you. He said, I want to be black woman scorned by black men. Sweetie, I never had them. Okay. You know, it just so I don't know what's your point. But okay, that's fine if you think so. But let's continue to make some jokes. And I find it weird that y'all think I'm pandering down in R. Kelly, who's a pedophile, right? So this is in that one moment. There's plenty of videos you probably watch of mine, but this is the one video when a black man who did something wrong to a black woman. That's when you want to kind of, you know.
Me and Riley don't need no babysitter. We can take care of ourselves. Yeah, it's not like we're gonna try to kill each other.
Shut up. Do what I'm about to say and don't mess up my house.
Come on, you mean this punk fool right here?
Okay, first of all, ain't nobody talking while I'm talking, so shut the fuck up. My name is Uncle Rucker, and I will be nigger sitting you two until your grandfather retires. Your granddaddy picked me because I am a licensed zoologist. I have studied a variety of wild animals, and the African male is by far the most savagely cunning. This is an opportunity to observe you niggas in your natural habitat and collect data. But be warned, whatever nigga trickery you got up your sleeves does not affect me. I wake up at 4:45 in the a.m. every morning. That's about 12 hours before most niggas wake up. I am a very spiritual person. I start each day by thanking the white man for the sunrise, for the land I walk on, for the air I breathe. I also apologize for niggas, but Lord knows they ain't gonna apologize for themselves. I am not black, nor do I consider myself to be black. Many people mistake me for being Negro because they don't know that I am currently living with the heartbreak of vitiligo. That's a skin condition that's the opposite of what Michael Jackson's got. Every morning I apply this topical ointment made of bleach and sulfur. I like to think it works. Luckily, I hadn't gotten much darker in the last few years. As you can see here, I enjoy building small shrines to certain special white people who are important in my life. This one here is dedicated to John. You heard me, nigga. Niggas can't fight. They don't possess the strength or character or the mental quickness to be a great fighter. That's why all the best fighters in the world have always been white men. Jack Dempsey, Rocky Marciano, Sylvester Stallone, and don't forget Ralph Macchio. You name me one great black heavyweight fighter.
No snitching.
Hold it right down, boy. Woodcrest Neighborhood Watch. Now, where was you at 11 o'clock last night, huh? Come on now. Don't lie to me,
nigga. I was in bed.
No, you wasn't. I seen you with my own eye. You was robbing white people's houses, wasn't you? Yeah, oh, look at them wheels. The law say when the fire...
Yeah, you know what? Watch the clip where he is talking crap about black women. Type in Miss Ebony Brown. There was a black female character on there who's supposed to be the exception to all the other black women on the show who showed up and were crazy, like the kung fu fighting wolf lady, right? So watch that. Type in Miss Ebony Brown. The lovely Ebony Brown.
Is this her?
No, she was the cute lady up there. I hope that's not like the whole episode. I hope they're not trying to show the whole episode. That has 29 minutes. No. But you see the lady in the middle, that's her.
Hold on, let me see.
Just try to shorten it. Type in Ebony Brown scene or something. And that's what I'm talking about when I said that they use him to make digs at black women. Okay.
Is this her?
That is her, but that's a whole 22-minute video. It's when they're in the park and they see her running. So the uncle or the granddad sees her for the first time, and Uncle Ruckus starts talking about black women. Skip until you see them in a park.
Right,
there we go. Yeah. Go back. Now he's starting to run his mouth. Okay, go.
Idea, wasn't it? Look at us. We're workout buddies. Hey, speaking of buddies, I read your Facebook suicide note, man. Oh, I'm really sorry.
I'm not just giving up on Facebook. I'm giving up on women. It's pointless. These women out here are insane. Robert. They
and it's so funny because that's how they were talking on YouTube and Clubhouse.
Yeah. To eliminate all black women from your life. I mean, look at me. No black women in my life. Look how happy I am. I'm happy as a nigga with a new gun.
Now, Ruckus, that is preposterous.
Oh, preposterous. Preposterous. Really. Ask me a question. Is you happy?
Sure I am.
See? No black women in his life neither. Nigga free, and that's how he need to be.
Just because I'm married to a white woman doesn't mean there's a single thing wrong with black women.
True, but you did marry a white woman.
You have to find the woman who makes you happy, Robert.
Well, black women don't want to be happy. They squeeze out about 7 or 8 of them little nappy-headed children by the time they 21. It's all downhill from there. Look, oh, that woman's body over there, that's a temple. A black woman's body is a temple of doom. When was the last time you saw a black woman jogging, Robert? Ask yourself that question. And I ain't talking about them super steroided she-males in the Olympics that tuck their testicles up either. Well, come to think of it. That's what I thought. You ain't never seen it. Because black women don't jog. That way they don't sweat out all them industrial strength toxic Avenger chemicals they use to straighten out their hair.
Sarah loves to jog.
Well, of course she does. Sarah is a human being.
Okay, fellas, enough of the guy talk, jibber jabber, talky talk. Can we just start running already? Come on!
You coming? I ain't running with y'all 2 niggas in the park. Police might shoot me by mistake. See you on the other side, nigga! Oh. Welcome to...
Oh, you skipped it. You skipped it. So she was positioning herself as like different from all the other black women. Hold on. Wait till she come. Look at her.
I'm sorry. You don't mind if I stop here, do you?
No. You're jogging?
Well, just love keeping myself in shape. It's murder on my hair, but you know. No point in having the best hair at my own funeral. Ebony Brown.
Boys, guess what? I met a woman, and she asked me out on a date.
Grab the gun. Got it. You get the sword. Hurry up. Get to the car. Where's she at? Do we need to sneak out the back?
I like this one. She's different.
Your dating life has been a serious threat to the safety of you, the people in this house, and really the entire neighborhood.
Not her. I met her at the park.
What was she doing in the park in the middle of the day? Huh?
She was jogging.
She looking for some lonely old man to take advantage of.
Really? I guess it's possible. You know what? I'm going to call her and cancel our date.
Can you just take it slow this time? And maybe not bring her back here until you're sure she's safe.
You know what? Never mind. I said I was giving up on women. That's what I'm going to do.
Maybe your problem with women is you pick crazy ones. But you can't hold that against every new woman you meet. Don't you always complain about women who can't let go of their baggage? Don't be a hypocrite, Granddad. Be a hypocrite, Granddad.
That's it.
Hello there, chimpanzee, monkey, I mean, Negro female. Welcome to... Oh. Damn it, Ruckus, how can you work at all these places at one time? Hello, Robert. What a surprise to see you here with your female companion.
Robert, who's this?
This is just the valet guy. Mr. Valet.
I can't. I really can't. You know, listen, y'all. I just can't. Those cartoons seem... So, hey, Autumn, welcome to the stream.
Hello, I'm cracking up. This is too real life. Too real.
It's like
kind of go to my round.
Coriander, you're so witty.
Oh, thanks.
Coriander, what did you say? I couldn't hear you. Corey, can you hear me? She's on mute. Yeah, so y'all make sure y'all stay away from anybody who is legitly defending R. Kelly. Because yeah, that is not streaming this content fair use act. What? Wait, what did she put in the chat? Yeah, so yeah, stay away from anybody who supports R. Kelly still, because you know they're gonna finna indict everybody. Shout out to Coriander for coming up. Yeah, Autumn, how do you feel about this?
I'm just to the point now where it may sound insensitive, but I'm moving forward with from certain conversations with certain people. I'm only interested in, you know, what serves me. Not to sound selfish or anything like that. You can't save I'm tired.
And legitly, I kind of feel the same way with these types of discussions, but I just beware of people, like, just be careful, like, who you hang around. Like, when you hear people say things like that, just like, or say that they support R. Kelly or that they stand with R. Kelly, just separate yourself from that conversation
Yeah.
with that person, because they will make you look really ignorant. And, you know, other groups of people, when these types of things happen, just like you look at white people, when they say something weird and we're just like, oh, I hope all white people don't feel this way. That's how white people or any other group look at us when we say stupid shit like this. That's the same
Exactly.
reason why that white woman specifically made sure she posted a black woman saying those things, knowing damn well there was black men dancing behind her and black men are the leaders of the community, and if you're a black man, indicted. So yes, make sure you also learn from those white women who were at the beginning, right, when they were like using these men are violent and disturbing and pedophilia, like
And
whatever.
it helps to pay attention to, like, if we take our emotions out of it, I like to just hear everyone's side. Even if you don't agree with someone, hear the whole thing. Listen, like, learn and know who you are up against. They don't necessarily have to know that that's a situation, but some people are dangerous, and they'll tell on themselves if you let them.
Yeah, and it's like, wow, that's crazy, because they want to see how you're going to react.
Yeah,
Right?
and just like, wow, okay.
Yeah, yes, wow, that's crazy. I can't believe you. Okay, well, you know, that's your opinion. I don't really have an outlook on this, or I don't really have anything to say about this. So I'm just, you know, I haven't really heard
Right. And never talk to them again.
period. Hi, Tenacious. How do you
Hey, Tenacious,
say
Tenacious.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I'm just glad that this mofo is in jail. Like, it should have happened a long time ago, but nobody was listening until now.
Oh no, and I'm telling you, they started listening to this when when it came out that he started touching little boys, because you know, to Lord Jesus, America love them boys. They love little boys.
Yeah, that's true.
They said, lock his ass up, hurry it up.
Right.
I don't know what you got to do, but today he gotta go. Send that nigga to jail, nah.
Right. Like, I mean, it's and I know y'all heard about the story about Gabby, right?
Oh yeah,
And
I'm gonna be covering that tomorrow.
Yes. Ugh.
it's
We have
annoying,
so many
but
issues within the community that we need to focus on, and it blows my mind that we focus on on the dumbest, most embarrassing things. Like,
The fact that
right.
your people know more Gabby more than they know about
exactly.
black women who are missing in the community.
Every day, children.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
crazy.
And it's strange, and it's weird because, like, you know, with this girl, like, why does she get this more attention and none of these women
It's a
do?
little white girl.
It's scary. Like, that shit is
Yep.
scary as hell. Like, every time when I think about getting cigarettes at night, there's times I come with a time limit because I'd be scared as hell. Like, I'd be
Yeah.
thinking that I may not be coming home, and it could be like a group of men like in front of the building and stuff. Like, I get really
hmm And that's why I just smile, or when men approach me, or if I'm alone, I'm the most sweetest person you could meet, because ain't no
Well,
telling.
it's that New York survival that you got to have in
Yeah,
you.
Yeah,
And a lot of
like, I
people,
do
adapt.
that speed walk. I do that speed walk as soon as I go over there. Hey,
Sometimes
bye.
they speed walk with you.
no, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like it's that New York survival that a lot of people don't like, or sometimes they be tired from work and they be coming home and they forget that you got to. This is survival, girl. This is not like that little cute. Yeah, my princess said, Aya, did you hear what happened to that reporter who reported black femicide, and he was suspended? Of course he was suspended, because white women don't want anybody else talking about anybody else but them.
That's a fact.
That's all they want. That's all they want. They don't want you to hear. So that's what she did was when she's. Oh my God, you can. Sorry, what did I put you on hidden?
Mm.
Oh, I'm sorry. I put Sorry, I don't know actually how to do it. Okay, you're unhidden. But yeah, they don't want you to talk about anybody else in the world. They want it to be all about them, and they want the target to be on other women. That's why they purposely put that black woman who was marching for R. Kelly. What was the? I still think that she was very malicious at that, and understand that even in these situations, those white women are uplifting themselves, right? Uplifting themselves and making sure, like, oh, we did it, girls, we did it, girl. How did white women become in the face of taking R. Kelly down now? Like,
That is funny. That is some funny shit to say. White women ain't got nothing to do with it. And
but now they've become the face of like taking that man down.
they wasn't saying this shit when they were taking his money.
Oh, and they weren't saying this when and the funny thing about it is that they will try to display the women, and this is how much on call white women were, because they totally forget about Bill Clinton, right? When
yes.
And freaking
Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah, and how he didn't even have to attack her. It was Hillary Clinton that attacked her ass, and she dragged her ass all through the media. And not one white woman said a damn thing. And those white women made sure that they voted for her and tried to put her in office. So it's so funny that they were behind her in ground. They made sure that she was good, she was supported, and now when it comes down to black issues, they want to be the face of taking down a black man in order to get a cookie from their men. Because that's what they're really trying to do.
Because that's what they did
And
to Cosby.
I have to admit,
that's what they did with Cosby, though. They did the same shit with
and
Cosby.
I admire that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, it's okay. I'm sorry.
I was saying that I admire that they're always on code. White women live whatever life they want to live, but they unite when it's time to unite, baby, and they make it shake when they have to. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. I admire that the most too. Like that's
we need to get
pretty
on
much
code.
we do. I at least I try for me, like I try to be on code with myself. Like if I see some things, that ain't right or whatever, I'll talk amongst, the other black women that, that are like-minded like myself.
Right.
If that makes sense.
And that's what it really was about. Like them making it seem like they took out Bill Cosby and R. Kelly as for them to get a cookie from their white male counterparts, right? And I told y'all that this feminism movement has now turned into how can they improve and make white men more in touch with their emotional side. I'm like, how the fuck did we what is going on in the world? Like, how did feminism? Yeah, like I thought it was about women, but and those women are trying to make it seem like that black women, and like I said before, people think I'm playing, but them white women are very strategic. They purposely put certain things in the media, and will say, "Oh, we took them down," and then post a video of a black woman out there saying what they said. Did they post the white women who were coming out in defense of Jeffrey Epstein and all those other white men? They didn't post them.
Hell no. In fact, they were probably defending them low key.
Yeah. There's a movie director who married his stepdaughter or his adopted daughter,
Woody
or something
Allen.
like that.
Woody
Allen.
The
whole white community stands by him silently. There's not really too much
Yes.
conversation. Everyone kind of just knows what happened and just mind their business because he is who he is.
Yeah, I think I know what
They
documentary
work
you're talking
what's in their
about.
favor. Yeah.
Are you talking about Pharaoh versus Allen?
I'm not sure his
I
name.
think
He's like a movie director.
Yeah, that's Woody Allen.
Yeah.
Woody Allen's the director because he's very famous in New York. Like
all
you
these
say
men
his
that
name,
created these movies, they're freaking pedophiles. All these old Hollywood people, pedos, rapists, you name it, they did it.
Even the biggest names in Hollywood, it's just so weird that they would defend someone that would not
so
only
many other
molest their
cases to worry
daughter.
about.
Yeah, that's true.
And
that's true.
And yeah, like I said, we gotta and Asian women gonna stay on call for white men too, because you gotta understand they date them the most, right? Out of any other women.
Right.
So they're gonna stay on call to protect The white men too. They gonna silence some Asian women. They gonna be like, shut the fuck up. You're not gonna ruin it for all of us.
Right.
Sit your ass down, girl.
Right. Be quiet.
We'll take your ass to the hospital, and you know it was your fault. You know.
Right.
Just let the black woman come out and complain, and we'll put you last. We'll put you in there, but we're gonna make sure that you get the last bit of it. So you
gonna get the scraps.
Yeah.
It's
You don't get
okay,
much.
black women, to like let some shit rock sometimes. When the world is in chaos and everyone's fighting and screaming and everything's on fire, take a step back and just chill. Let people fight and share their opinions and be angry at one another.
Hey, I'm back.
Hi, Corey.
Why is it that I can't hear you guys
Hi,
very well?
Corey.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I
I'm
can
on
hear you.
For some reason, I can't hear y'all very well. I think my device is registering this as a phone call, so I can put my ear up to it. That's stupid. Okay. Hey.
No, it says I can hear you pretty good. You still hear us bad?
No, you guys are quiet. But I'm gonna go to my car and get my earbuds. But I wanted to talk about the white women. You said they don't like any attention being on any other women but themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That is so true. That's their narcissism. Their collective narcissism as a community of women. Because Bill Burr called it out. He was like, how white women took over the woke movement. Like you swung your Gucci booted feet around the fence and took over the woke movement. Like he called them out on. That's why they got so angry at him, right? But I remember when the natural hair movement started picking up and black women started getting a lot of attention for their hair, and white women somehow wanted to make that about them too. So literally, they be a part of the natural hair movement. And I was like, what sense does that even make?
Like, is your hair even natural?
By natural, yeah, like what sense does that even make? But they only wanted to be a part of the movement because black women were getting attention. They like to divert attention away from black women.
Mm-hmm.
And that's their narcissism.
I completely agree, Corey.
Gave it to him. I already gave him money.
And you have to understand. Like,
all right, thank you.
I'm gonna leave and come back.
Go ahead. Go ahead. It's been a long time since you. Oh, La Princess says, when are you doing the announcement? I'm going to be doing the announcement officially tomorrow. When I do my white women video. Where we're going to be talking about the power of white women. So if you want that big announcement, and I hope everybody is specifically like this video and making sure that they're subscribed so they know what's going on. Go ahead, Corey. I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I'm good.
Bye, Winter Star. But yeah, be careful with it when it comes down to these situations, and be careful who you're vocal with, because there's a lot of people who will legitly try to make you feel crazy or try to pin you out to be the person who feels some type of way. I've seen a lot of time in corporate spaces when women talk about their comfortability, and they will force black women to speak about it first. So black women can test the waters and see, oh, you say something first about it and see how that works. And then I'll say something right after you. No, girl, you say something. You say first.
Correct. I work in like the medical field, and I've had that experience multiple times, and I've had to be like, I'm not angry. You are. So you figure it out.
Or that's not my experience that I've had. That's your experience.
Exactly.
Carol.
Even if it's my experience, I'm like, what?
Carol, that's your experience, girl. Go ahead, Denisha.
Well, I mean, the only experience I probably had with that was in like school. Like just education wise, like a teacher would talk about something and then they would bring up like any black student would go first. I always thought that was rude because
No, for me, I really personally, for me, oh, my friend just sent me a picture of her son getting married. That's so nice. I legitly, and I want to say this, it's not all right. I will give you that. It is not all, period. But the thing is, like, for me, like, it's hard to find, and to get into those circles and get them to have your back. Like, I remember when I worked in a certain sector and I've had a lot of them, and the whole stay, and I'm probably going to take this live down because I know a lot of them still do follow me. But yeah, they will definitely throw you under the bus behind the scenes. But some of them, if you find the right white woman ally, they will be very loyal to you, and that will be your girl. Okay, that
That's
will
very
be
true.
girl. She will be like, do not mess with my,
Yeah.
no, enough.
Enough.
There was this white woman. Please don't take this live down because it's very informative. I feel like black women and white women need to hear this, you know? But there was this white woman on one of these YouTubers' channels. She posted the white woman calls black men out and guess who's mad? And this white woman was talking about how other white women will date black men who disparage black women, and how she says she's not attracted to that. Like how she will hear black men disparaging black women and uplifting white women. And she says, well, first of all, she doesn't want a man who suffers from a racial inferiority complex. And there's a lot of white women who say they even, this one white woman, when she was talking about Asian men, this one Asian dude literally asked her about her ethnic makeup because he wanted to make sure she was of Germanic descent. I'm not even going to get into that with these dudes, but both of these white women had the same mentality. If you're getting with me under the premise that being with a white person just for the color of my skin, I'm going to elevate you somehow, I don't want you, right? Because first and foremost, I'm a human being. That's what both of these women were saying. Like, they're human beings. And they want you to approach them as a woman and a person first and not just their race. So there's a number of white women who are turned off by this. And she said, for you white girls, she was calling out other white women, and you get with these black dudes who talk shit about black women. She was like, one day you're going to give him a black daughter. Right? And imagine how problematic that is. So there's a bunch of black men in the comment section who were angry about that, right? And this YouTuber reposted it and she was like, guess who's mad? Because she called them out. And there's a lot of them who are, after dealing with these men, waking up to the reality of these men's mentality. And for those who aren't narcissistic and don't just want to get their ego stroked, right? Being triangulated against another race of women, right? To stroke their ego. Because in order for you to feel some kind of, in order for you to get your ego boosted by being triangulated against another woman, you would have to admit that you're insecure. And both these women, like, I'm not insecure. I don't need you to bash or talk shit about another group of women in order to uplift me. I uplift myself. So there's a number of these white women who are waking up to the reality of dealing with these men. And they're, like I said, winter is coming for black men because it's getting to the point where even these women are getting fed up with them. And these women are putting these men on blast. They're putting these black men on blast and like exposing their degeneracy when they're dealing with these women and carrying the same degenerate behavior that they engage in with black women and that they shift blame onto black women for, like blaming you for the single parent epidemic and the divorce rates and blah, blah, blah. They're carrying that behavior into other communities.
Especially when they put children in the world, that just makes it worse because the kids are going to grow up confused, they're going to grow up self-hating. And then a lot of the times they be the main ones that be on social media crying about not being black enough. And, oh, the black kids never picked with me. So I got to do this and I got to act a certain way. Listen, I feel like black men and white women, they have the same mentality.
They do.
They both have that same narcissism. And I feel like white men and black women have this one thing in common. We give them everything and it's still never enough.
It is. That's what happens
so true.
inside of a community when you pedestalize someone for no other reason than existing the same race as you with opposite genitals, right? Like with black women, black men for no other reason than them being black with the penis. But
that was a word, coriander.
Yeah, on top of them having next to nothing to offer you ladies and more pros than cons to offer, now they have the audacity while having little to offer to disrespect you, right? And so But inside of that community, the white community is a white female worshiping community, and the MGTOW movement actually got started by white men in response to white women's bullshit. It got started with white. Yeah, it got
I
started
did
with
not
white
know
men.
anything about that. I
No,
really
listen,
thought
that was
like women. I thought it was like a
listen.
women hate group.
No,
I really thought
black
that.
black men, because men of color decided, because anything white men do, they want to do it too. But the MGTOW
That's
movement
true. They're
got
copycat.
started by white men in response to white women, and the fact that they uplift these women, they praise these women for no other reason to being white with a vagina. And these women are very ungrateful, and they take, and then on top of that, they do a similar thing to what black men do. All they do is complain about white men, but white men made you the most privileged women in the world. So white men, the MGTOW movement was the white men's divestment. You see them
Right.
increasing. Yeah, it's like divestment, but for white men. You see that
Okay.
not only are they saying, no, I'm not going to give to you and spoil you for by default for being white, but they also decided to go their own way, and they were increasing their marriage rates with Asian women, Hispanic women, and white women were getting pissed about that. That was the white man's divestment. That's what the MGTOW movement got started by white men. You just had black men trying to insert themselves.
Yeah, because that's what they call black MGTOW. I'm glad, Corey, that you aired everything out, because yeah, you really articulated it. I can't say no more.
But that's because I talked to white men. And the white
Period.
men that I talk to, huh?
I said period.
Yeah, I talk to them. Like I date these men, and I see they have horror stories about, for example, white men are providers, right? But white women take advantage of that, and that's because they expect them to provide,
No,
right? This
hold on,
African,
wait, Corey. Hold
I
on,
know a woman. I'm sorry.
hold on, wait, Corey. I want you to do, because I've been trying to reach out to you to do, because I'm going to do a video on this, and I want to collaborate with you on this. So don't say too much.
Okay, I won't say too much. I don't know what you don't. Okay.
I dated a man who's a physical therapist, and he works at 3 different places trying to make ends meet because he's responsible for the bills of his home and the bills of his ex-wife's home. And that's just because she's a terrible person. And the whole time we were dating, it was so hard for me to connect with him because he was so sad. She just
Yeah,
she
these
just was
women, they break
ruining
them.
his life.
They break these men. No,
It
but even
breaks
the
them.
Asian,
It's
no,
crazy.
yes. And then it makes them not want to do anything else for any other women. Then they're
Yeah.
like, I'm not gonna, yeah, yeah. But the thing is, that's because they deal with white women who take full advantage of that and don't appreciate them, right? And they get jaded, right? And that's why I told the girls on my community tab, I was talking about provider men and how the white guy I'm dating now is a provider. And I was like, you have to get them before they're jaded by white women. Every
Yep.
single listen, they have even these Asian dudes. I'll meet these Asian guys who mess with these white girls, and
Horror stories.
no, listen.
Oh man.
Listen, I who get mess with these white girls, and these white girls traumatize them in a way that they can't move forward and have a functioning relationship going forward after they got their heart broken and traumatized by these white women. But these are the women that Asian men pedestalize, so it's really hard for me to empathize with them on that. But
I think that
I'm not
the
going into
people
detail with that mentality. I feel like I hear myself being robotic. But
No.
a lot of these can you guys, am I a robot right now, you guys? Is my voice robotic?
No, we can hear you perfectly.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell y'all this and I have to go. How much minutes do I have on my break? I have like 1 minute. Um, these white guys, right? I hear stories from these white guys where they were dating a white girl and she somehow left with a chunk of his money, somehow left leaving him in debt, somehow left and she financially strained him or burdened him in some way. And that's what makes these white men get fed up. And they're like, yeah, I'm going my own way. Makes how, you know?
Yeah.
This one white guy, he was a fireman, and he spoke about how his ex, he had his ex, he said he had like the whole American dream inside of he worked hard so he can provide. He told her that all she had to do was, and women, when you expect it, when the good treatment that you get is an expectation, you take it for granted. And that's what goes on in the black community with black men who take black women for granted. And in the white community with white women who take white men for granted. He said, he was like, I had the house, like the white picket fence, the dog, like in his head, the whole American dream. He told her all she had to do as a fireman was, focus on her schoolwork. He wanted her to just focus on her schoolwork and he was going to provide for her. And all she ever did was bitch and complain. So, and then, she left. And because it's an expectation for them, right? To us, if we were to get a man like that, right? And this is why I feel like white men, they go to other races of women. That's my alarm. They go to other races of women because these women aren't used to getting that treatment from their men. And so they praise the white man for that, right? Like they uplift him. They're like, oh my God, like what's normal to him and his community that his own race of women take for granted with him. If a black woman were to get a man like that, like she's not leaving him. That's why the divorce rates between black women and white men are so low, because we're not used to that from black men. So we don't take it for granted. We show a lot of appreciation towards them, right? They get a lot more appreciation from women outside of their community than within the community. And it makes them not want to do anything for white women. But if they get jaded, and in their mind, all women are like white women, they get jaded. They bring that same jaded mentality to the table when talking to non-white women. I had this white man. He was talking about, he was talking to me as though I was a white woman. I told him I'm not a white woman. Okay, so whatever you had going on with them, he's like, oh, race doesn't matter. It's just like women are women. I was like, no, it does matter, because I come from a different, cultural background. And what's normal behavior for white women, you're not going to get that with your average black woman, right? Your average black woman, because she's not used to that kind of treatment from black men, she's not going to get with you and take that for granted, or get with you and be unappreciative or take advantage of you like that, right? Because in her mind, you're a catch because of what you offer. In the minds of white women, you're not a catch, you're just average. It's an expectation. So I'm gonna go. I don't want to like take over the live stream, but I'm gonna go and I'll just be in the chat, but I gotta get back to work.
Bye, Corey.
Bye, Corey.
Bye, Corey. Thank you for coming. I love you.
Yeah, I love you too.
I'll call you tomorrow.
Yeah, I was gonna say, call me tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll call you tomorrow. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
No, and I really want to collaborate with Corey on that, because there needs to be some serious conversations. But I think I'm going to leave that out, like on for Patreon, because, child, if you're going to misconstrue my words, you're going to pay for it. And it's going to be something really deep. And we're going to have a serious discussion, because I think black women have the upper hand when it comes down to white men, and other groups of men in general. They just don't tap into that. I think black bodies do overall, but I really think that there needs to be a nasty little discussion that we need to have. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of people think that, probably know what I'm talking about, but we just really just need to have the discussion. And I'm going to matter of fact, I'm going to actually have an interview with the man who's going to talk about it first. Then I want to have Corey come up and speak about it, because from the woman's perspective, because it is really amazing and it needs to be talked about. And it's something really deep, and it's something beneficial that can help a lot of black women just stop caring. And I also want to say this, y'all, my friend I don't know if y'all saw my community tab, but my friend, through my advice, she legitly got her with her man that she met during the pandemic. She legitly has a new home and a new car. So
yes.
And if you are in my and if you are in my Discord, you saw the proof. I do not need to lie. This is now my
Eddie, how do you join that? I'm so sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, the Discord is like shut down until like we reopen up my Patreon, which will be probably the 1st of October. Yeah, but I announced it here. Yeah. But it will be something brand new, really refreshed, and amazing. And it's going to be something exciting. It's going to be like, there's going to be new rules for the Discord, because we're really going to bump it up and to make it to more solutions. I'm happy for her, but I need to see more stories like this. I know I have a lot of women who email me their stories, and I need to do a better job at being responsible and sharing the stories, right? Because the stories are important. And I would love to see more women getting outside and actually taking advantage of, women staying inside and grabbing up all the men with the money. And she's not engaged, y'all. This friend, she legitly got her new car, and got her house paid off. Or not, she got a new house, and it's all the way paid off. Right. So shout out to her. So all those people who are in other YouTube saying that my advice is ridiculous and there's no such thing, and I'm a man, so I can't be giving women advice. Well, like she has a whole house and a car, and you're still on YouTube telling women to date the men who are not even equal of other men, just slightly above black men. So you might as well stay with black men if you go by the advice that she's giving you, right? But I'm really happy for her, and I'm really happy for all the women who have been sending me stories and have sending me. And for me in general, when those women get their happy lives, I tell them, like, just don't listen to my advice anymore. Just go with the flow, because you don't need it anymore. No. If y'all look at, so I didn't post my friend because y'all know that people try to dox me, right? The women who I just posted a picture. If you look at she's the model who I posted the picture of, but the women, my friend who got the house, I posted her in the Discord because I trust those women, and I know they would not try to dox or say anything like that in general. So I posted a house, but no, that is not the same woman. The women in the Discord and the women in the photo on my community tab, they're totally different skin complexions. Both are beautiful though. So yes, definitely going to be sharing more stories. I mean, there was a lot of women who came up on Clubhouse on the stage this morning that I had and shared their stories that they had with my advice. One just got a corporate job for reaching out for her alumni on LinkedIn that she had that went to her school. A man hired her right on the spot. So yeah, thank you, Dia. Yeah, both are beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate that. So yes, more uplifting, more success stories, and more getting things right, because I can't keep talking about the problems all the time.
Yes.
It needs to be strategy. It needs to be because if she can get a fucking house and a car, like and she met this man during the pandemic, come on now. I know a lot of y'all can get more than that, right? I mean, I'm not trying to say that she is ugly, but she's not like a real big like what do you call it, like a Instagram model. She really looks like a very your everyday girl, and she's really beautiful. She does, yeah, but she doesn't do dramatic makeup. She just keeps herself looking good. She goes to the gym, she drinks her water, she makes sure she's healthy, she went to her therapy, and she did her work. So yeah, definitely y'all look out for that. Crap. Patreon will be going live on October 1st. Interviews will start being uploaded the second week of October, right? So everybody's good. Everybody's put on there. How do I enter on Clubhouse? You can just sign up for the app. It's free now, right? It's free now. It's always been free, but you don't need an invite to sign up. So all you have to do is just log in and then type in my name, and then you'll follow me. Let me just see what everybody else has to say before I go. Make sure y'all subscribe. We're going to be talking about some deep, crazy shit on Patreon, because I'm not going to have a filter on there, y'all. I'm going to say what I want to say, and that's going to be that. And nobody's going to stop me there. I don't have to worry about, like, I will feel more comfortable somebody trying to misconstrue my words paying for my Patreon than anything else. But I'm still going to be going live on YouTube. Yeah. And I'm going to be, one thing I am going to be, though, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be on Clubhouse less, just because I need to focus on YouTube and Patreon if I'm going to take this serious. Oh, yes. And Android is now accepted on Clubhouse. It's called Clubhouse, y'all. That's the app. What else before I head out? Any other questions y'all got going on? Yeah, let's talk about solutions in real life. I mean, we have been talking about solutions. She's a normal Black woman. Yeah, I don't like to say normal, because no Black woman is really normal. Yeah. Shout outs to the mods who's been taking care of all these trolls that have been coming in. I appreciate y'all so much. But, like, she's just your average. Hi, Corey.
Hold on, I want to say one more thing. Because you were talking about the girl in a success story, right? So the white guy I'm dating, he's already It is literally after the first date, but he was so impressed with me. He's already hinting towards wanting me to quit my job, right? Already. He's hinting towards me wanting to quit my job. And this is the same white guy who got taken advantage of by a white woman. This girl was addicted to pills, like drinking alcohol and popping sleeping pills, which is like a death sentence. You don't ever do that. That's suicidal, right? And he bought her 3 months into dating. That's how I know he's a provider. 3 months into dating her, right? Y'all can hear me? He bought her a car because she didn't have her own car, but he put it in his name. And even after they broke up, he let her keep the car, and she lost the car because she wasn't paying taxes on it, right? But this is a man who's a provider, and these are the types of white women I was talking about when they sit there and use these men and they get jaded. So luckily, I got him before he messed with too many of these types of white women and ended up jaded, right? Because he's still in the provider mindset. He hasn't been completely crushed by dealing with these women. So he's still in that provider mindset where he has the ability to give. This guy I'm dating, he owns his house. He has a nice career. He drives 2 cars, right? And he's like, I told him about my work day, right? I work from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. the next morning because I work in healthcare, right? I was complaining about work. He's like, well, you won't have to work for too long. He's like hinting towards it, right?
Yes.
Listen, let me tell you something. He's hinting towards it, right? Hinting towards it. And I wanted to get on here and tell you ladies something. A hustle that men will try to run on y'all, right? I hear a lot of black men on the Blackistan side of YouTube when black women start talking about how they want a man to provide, and they're like, oh well, basically I want to test drive you like a car. Like, oh well, I'll provide for a woman, but and then these are men with money, black men with money now. You know that even if they have money, they still are very stingy. They'll sit there and try to bait these black women by saying, oh, well, I'll provide for a woman, but I have to see if I like you first, or if I have to see if you're worthy, or I have to see if, or I'll only provide for a woman after I'm married to her, right? And this is bait. All of the provider men I've met, the Chinese man who put me in a house once, the other Taiwanese guy who wanted to take care of me, and these white men that I meet, right? And a white guy who paid off my credit card debt after the first date. If he's a provider, he's going to, just like Shira Seven's husband, started taking care of her within, only a couple of months of dating, Like he eventually married her, but within a couple of months of dating, Shira Seven's husband was already paying all her bills. He was already paying all her bills. He was already providing for her during the dating stages. And that's what a lot of provider men do. They'll
And you
start
don't
providing
have
for
to
you very
beg.
early on. Right? They're not going to sit there and try to swindle you by saying, "Oh, well, I'll see," or "Yes, I have money." Like, women will be attracted to men with money who are stingy. They won't even give a woman a $1 water bottle in the desert, right? And they'll sit there and try to swindle you and bait you and catch you by saying, "Oh yeah, well, I'm the type of man to provide for a woman, but after we're married, or I have to see if she's worthy." No, there's the provider men actual provide. They don't give it a second thought. They start providing for you as soon as after the second date. Out within the first month, this white guy, he bought his girlfriend a car within 3 months. He bought her a car within 3 months. And for me, he's already hinting toward wanting me to quit my job. Now, here's the thing with me. There's another YouTube channel I watch. It's an Asian woman, and Shira Seven suggested her. And this Asian woman says she doesn't believe in girlfriend being somebody's girlfriend because girlfriend is an imaginary title, right? It's an imaginary, it's like an imaginary. The
It
title's
doesn't
not the word I'm
exist.
looking for.
Mm-hmm.
It's an imaginary status. Girlfriend is an imaginary status. And then
Mm-hmm.
what a lot of women do is they get into these relationships, long-term relationships with these dudes. You take yourself off the market. I'm getting ready to tell y'all some game, okay? They take themselves off the market for 2, 3, 5 years, and you just wasted, let's say you don't even marry that guy, you just wasted a whole huge chunk of your life, 2 to 3, 5 years. And women have a biological clock, okay? 2, 3, 5 years in a relationship with a man who didn't even marry you, right? And that's because she said men become complacent. Like, why does he need to buy the milk when he gets the cow for free, right? Or however it goes. Why you buy the cow when you get the milk for free? Yeah. He's already getting all the wifey privileges, all the girlfriend privileges, right? And women feel conflicted when after a while they're not getting what they want. They have to add this guy back to their roster and go out there and start dating, because in her mind, because of how women connect, especially after sex, women connect to their men. In her mind, she's cheating on him, but she doesn't really have any real title or any real status. She's just a girlfriend. So that's why she said, she told her the first time this Asian woman got married, and this is why Shira Seven suggested her. It's called the Universe Guru, right, y'all? That's her YouTube channel. The first time she got married, her husband proposed to her within the first month. Second time she got married, it was he took her off the market again under a month, right? And that was because when men feel like they don't have any competition, right? There's no sense of urgency, right? They think, oh, she ain't going nowhere, so they kind of keep you there, like as a placeholder. Have y'all read that book called Men Don't Love Women Like You by G.L. Lamford and Hoe Tactic that Shira Seven suggested? You're a placeholder. He doesn't have
And
any
you're being
real urgency to
performative.
take you off the market, right?
Yep.
So that's why you don't become a man's girlfriend. And she said this right here is called the girlfriend speech. When a man asks you, because he wants to take you off the market prematurely without any real commitment on his end. Because the only way a man commits is with a ring on your finger. That's when you get all the resources and the stability. But if you are prematurely committing to him without a ring, like there's no urgency. So she was like, her husband, when she told her this, her husband asked her to become exclusive with him, right? Because he knew that she was roster dating. She was dating other men, and they don't like that competition, right? Because they think, oh, they're going to snatch her up. But here's the thing: if he wants you, he can put a ring on your finger, and until then, you're still single. You date, you have your rotation, and maybe you have your first runner up, but you don't limit yourself to your first runner up. He's just your first runner up until you get a ring on your finger. So she said when her husband asked her to become exclusive with her, she's like, oh my God, I am so happy or honored. I can't remember the exact wording. That you want me to be your girlfriend. And I really like you too, but I don't want to be any man's girlfriend. I want to be a wife. And she said that the men that she said that to, they respected her, so now her husband knew, okay, I can't get exclusivity from her and take her off the market by just making her a girlfriend, right? That I would have to snatch her up or some other man's going to get her. And that created this sense of urgency for her to get her ring in under a month, right? So I was like, oh, wow. And this whole time, I was with this Taiwanese guy who wouldn't even give me, because we started off as friends with benefits, which is backwards. And then we started developing feelings for each other. He didn't even want to give me the girlfriend title, right? And I left him. So I remember thinking to myself, wow, this whole time I was striving for girlfriend. I should have been striving for wife, while telling these guys that, if they want me, they want exclusivity. Exclusivity is a wifey privilege. Commitment is a wifey privilege. And if you want me to commit to you, you have to commit to me by giving me a ring. You don't say it like that because that sounds like you have an attitude, but you use the girlfriend speech. And she like has a pamphlet. She tells you what the girlfriend speech is. And you let them know, oh my God, I really love you, like you too. And I really like spending time with you, but I don't want to be any man's girlfriend. I want to be a wife. And you continue dating other men. Now, if he has a problem with that and he gets angry, well, hey, he gets dropped off of your rotation and you have others, or he goes to the back of your rotation. On my phone, I'm gonna tell y'all what I got on my phone. On my phone, I have 3 categories: gold, bronze, silver, and gold. And bronze is for the guys I'm just talking to. Silver is for the guys I've had a date with already and I really like them. But gold is like 3+ days. Like these are the guys that I see a whole lot of potential in, right? Like this is commitment potential. These are the ones that could possibly propose, right? And I got this from an African friend of whom under the first month, her first husband, she's from Cape Verde, right? And it's like a mixed race country off the coast of Africa. So she looks very Latina. They speak Portuguese, but she's mixed with African and white, as many people in that country are. Her first husband, right, took her off the market in under a month. And her second husband, while she's going through the process of her divorce, right, she's dating this other guy, and while her and her husband are separated, her boyfriend, and they've been dating for under a year. He was like, if I could marry you right now, I would take you off the market, right? And now they're engaged, and that's the trick. The trick is not to limit yourself to one man. You have to create competition for them. And you don't let them know, oh, well, I'm talking to all these other dudes and, make yourself look like a hoe. But you're not available for them all the time, right? You put yourself first. You have a life outside of your man, right? This is something the Taiwanese guy said. He says, I feel like you don't have a life outside of me. And that was true. I didn't have a life outside of him, right? I made my world revolve around him, and guys don't like that. You have a life outside of him. You're not available to him 24/7, and you don't make him the only man inside of your life, right? You're entertaining other men. And if it doesn't work out with one, you have another. And when one of them starts asking for commitment, you let them know. The girlfriend speech from the universe guru. I am so flattered that you want me to be your girlfriend. And I really like spending time with you too. But I don't want to be any man's girlfriend. I want to be a wife. So I got out of the mindset of wanting to be a man's girlfriend. And I was like, going forward, because now I'm getting serious about my dating. I worked on myself first. I took like about a year or so of working on myself. I quit dating. Okay. And I said, because I want to have, when I get into a relationship, I don't want to bring baggage. I don't want to bring trauma. I want to offer the best version of myself to a potential mate. And so I took myself off the dating market, and I literally just focused on myself through counseling and stuff like that. And then I started dating very seriously just recently. And I ran into one white man who told me right off the bat, I'm looking for marriage, right? But here's the thing, you're not desperate. You don't go and snatch the first man off the market who says he's looking for marriage, right? That should be the standard. The same way when you meet a man with money, you don't snatch the first man with money off the market because you have standards. That should be a basic expectation that he has money, right? All of the men that you're dating inside of your rotation should have money, right? So it's normal to you. That's not going to be like a huge determining factor. I mean, yeah, but that's not going to be the one thing that he has to offer because all the men have that to offer. Right now, it's just that's a basic expectation. Now it's just a matter of compatibility. So the first guy, you have to be willing to walk away. That's another thing. Walk away and mean it when they don't meet your expectations. The man who told me that he was looking for marriage and he expects to be married within, like, he wants to be married in 2 years. He was really marriage minded. I met him off Tinder. And he said, he tells all women, I want to be married within 2 years. Well, that's nice. And I didn't feel desperate to snatch him off the market or, make him the prize in my head. But, oh my God, I got to get him because he wants marriage and he has his career and his house and all that jazz, right? I cut him off my roster. And I cut him off my roster because I have standards. And one of my standards is I don't like flaky men. I don't like men who will make plans with a woman and don't follow through. He made plans with me. At the dinner table, he took me to this really nice French restaurant. At the dinner table, we made plans for the next following weekend. And then he messages me a few days later. He's like, oh, I forgot I had this party. And he was like, but I'll see if we can, if I can see you before the party or, if I'll see you instead of going to the party. And I warned him. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, make whatever decision you want to make. I was like, choose wisely. He was like, I always do. And then he chose to go to the party. And so I was like, okay, well, I don't like flaky men. And it's like, you have to have a really strict standard. It has to be like one shot and you're out, right? Because I'll tell you what the African girl told me. She said, the only men you give second chances to are your husbands. Okay?
Period.
It's your husband. A lot of women get in the habit of giving men second chances and then they begin to walk all over you. And I was like, well, that's my standard. I know from experience with this Chinese man who kept flaking out on me that if a man exhibits flaky behavior in the very beginning stages, that sets the tone for the relationship going forward. And I'm not tolerating flakiness. I need to know that you're going to keep your word. So guess what? This marriage-minded white man who had a lot of money and owned his house and his cars and was looking for marriage, great catch, but maybe you'll be a good catch for someone else. And hopefully you'll learn from this experience because you messed up with me. So then when you're not afraid to let go and you have this mentality of abundance, right? Like, I'm going to get what I want. The universe keeps sending it to you. So then I met another white man named John. And John is the one that I was telling y'all about earlier. He has his 2 cars and owns his house, and he's already hinting towards, this is the one who bought his ex-white girlfriend a car after 3 months. And he's hinting towards wanting me to quit my job, right?